Hey y'all, this is Sierra. Welcome to She Talk. Today we have special guest Amber, and she's going to be telling us more about her business and everything in between. Excited to have her. We have some good news for 2024, but you gotta wait. You gotta wait and see what's going to happen with that. But just
All
know
right.
we have some things loading. And yeah, Amber, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. My name is Amber. I am a videographer and photographer here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I film, direct, I edit, all that good stuff. So thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. No, thank you for being a creative that's open to like sharing their story because a lot of people are afraid to do that because they so used to being behind the camera.
Right. Oh, girl, me too. Put me behind it. I don't want to be in front.
But
No, I'm
you
just
know what?
playing.
Yeah, but I love it though because again, my business is based upon getting women to share their stories. So
Hmm.
whenever this opportunity came about, I was like, oh my God, again, I don't have a lot of, photographers, videographers that just are like,
Hmm.
let's move outside of, from behind the camera in front of the camera. And I want to tell
Right.
you about me. I want to tell you about my business. So to be able to cover such a creative as yourself is
Oh,
exciting.
thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me. I know we've talked a lot before, but thank you for having me again. It's really exciting opportunity. So I really appreciate it.
Yes, we got a little bit of history, y'all, just in case you didn't know. But it's like we're expanding now, so I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I love it.
So we're gonna shoot,
2024 roles.
yes, yes.
So
We're gonna shoot right into these questions. I know you told us who you were, but
Mhm.
I want to know like how did you get started as far as like photography, videography? Because I had to learn that videography is completely different from photography.
It sure is.
Like
It
I'm
really
just now
is.
learning that, but I just want to know like how you got started and branched off into the other side of, that creative lifestyle.
So it kind of started, like I said before, it was in school. My dad used to buy me cameras like every year for my birthday. So I love filming myself. I love taking pictures of other people. I love creating my own YouTube videos. And then once I got out of school, it was like, hey, I can actually make money doing this. Like there was a need for it. I recognized there was a need for it. And I would attend like music events and concerts and showcases and things like that. And I kind of just network with like different artists at first, and then they started asking me, hey, do you shoot music videos? And I was like, I've never done it before, but I've shot my own music videos like for YouTube and things like that, but I had never actually shot music videos. So I had an artist. I shot my first music video with him. It was actually very successful.
Awesome.
So I just kind of networked with people and got my name out there. I did a lot of free work when I first started. I did a lot of videos for free, a lot of pictures for free, just so I could build my name and build my brand. And like I said, network with people and get my work out there. It's kind of crazy because at first, when I first started, I was like scared to post my work. I was scared to show people my work. I didn't want to share it, show it to anybody. I'm like, what are people going to think? But
Mhm.
then as I kind of grew into it and time went on, people were like being receptive to that. Like, oh, that's really good. That looks really nice. Oh, I know somebody who might need your services. But it was kind of like I didn't really think that it could grow as much as it has when I first started. So now I'm on, a different scale. I'm not like a new videographer, new photographer or whatever, but I've networked and worked with a lot of different people. So just growing from where I've started and how I started to now is just kind of like mind blowing to me. So I really appreciate all my clients watching this. Hey y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate everybody that has worked with me, who has given me advice. I do have a lot of different mentors, people who've given me advice, people who have helped me grow my business. And like I said, I just appreciate how much I've grown from when I started to now. So
Yeah. No, like that's dope. And I'm glad that you mentioned like how some people don't realize. I think when they're starting off, right, as a creative, when you start merging into business, you actually start off building a portfolio to whatever that you're doing, and you have to do freebies to get that business.
yeah.
I
A
feel like,
lot of freebies, a
yes,
lot
I
of
feel like
freebies, but
this generation just don't understand that. They want everything to be instant. And it's like you literally have to grind. You have to do some free stuff to build up to get that exposure so you can start getting compensated for your skills.
exactly. And I try to tell a lot of people that, when you first start, it's not always going to be, somebody's going to be willing to pay you for your work, especially if they've never seen anything that you've done or anything that you can do, and just telling them, hey, yeah, I can do this, is not going to suffice when you're trying to make thousands or hundreds of dollars or whatever. So the first couple of months you might have to do free pictures, free videos for whoever, and then like I said, once you build your portfolio and get your brand and your face out there and people start seeing you and noticing that, hey, that's what such and such does, they start recommending you, you get referrals, and then once you do good business, it's just a repeated cycle.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I'm glad that you shared that again. And just to have that transparency about doubting yourself, right? Because I
Oh girl.
feel like women, especially, and let's just spin it around. I feel like Black women, we are sometimes we're our worst, like, we're our own
Critic.
competition and we're our worst critic because here we are with all these skills, all these talents, all these gifts, and then we're still questioning ourselves. And entrepreneurs, period. Like we always question ourselves, like, is this gonna work? Is this good enough? Like we put too much thought into is it actually good enough when there's people that's like, we don't care what you throw up, we love what you put up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that
you might
that
think it's gonna flop and it's a hit. I've had that happen so many times. Like, I'm like, this is I don't know if these people gonna like this or not. And then boom, like
they're like, oh my
posted
god, I love
1,000
it.
views. I'm like, wait a minute,
All right.
this is just me acting a fool.
That's the best part though, when they actually like I said, are receptive to it and they tell you, oh my God, I love it. And you the whole time you're thinking like, are they gonna like it? Is this okay? Does it look all right? Is it okay? Is it, and then they're like, oh my God, I love it. And then it's like this relief, like, oh my goodness, they liked it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then
So,
I think too, like, if you're anything like me, which I'm sure in that case, you're like a perfectionist of your own work.
oh
So
girl.
it's trying to be it's trying to be perfect when we're not perfect. Like we want to do
At
the
all.
very best. We want to put out the very best. But people love to see the flaws. They
Fact.
love that. Like I've learned it more and more. They want to see your challenges. They want to see your disadvantages because they're sharing in those as well. Like they're experiencing the
Fact.
same things. So to see your struggles, to see those things, they're like, we want to hear about that too.
Facts. And I think I do have to do a little bit better with sharing like the process and the hard parts, because I think a lot of people see what I'm doing now and they're like, oh, she's always been, successful or doing well or well off or whatever. But y'all didn't see the struggle and the grind for like,
Okay.
the last 7, 8 years, trying to get here and trying to, create this brand or whatever, or create a name. They're like, they just see the end result in the finished product. And it's like, I didn't see you going through it, but I saw the end. So it's like, it must have been easy, but it's not all,
Absolutely.
it's not usually easy. So,
No, not at all. And yeah, I have to do better with that myself. I was just thinking, I was like, okay, I'm not showing like I'm struggling today.
right.
I'm
And
struggling
it's
today.
usually more than one day. It's like,
Yeah,
a couple of days, but every day you take it a day at a time. So it's like, you know.
that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. So let me ask you, for a complete amateur who has this knack or nick for photography, videography, like what type of advice would you give them if they were ready to jump into that particular field or career?
Like I said before, you're gonna have to do a lot of free work. Invest in yourself, invest in your craft, invest in good gear, invest in resources. create resources, network with people. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't overthink everything. Don't, try to be so perfect that it comes across as, not authentic. Just be yourself. That's probably the easiest way to put it. Just be yourself.
Yes,
Be yourself, grow your brand, invest in yourself. That's probably the best advice that I have.
absolutely. Because you know what, that imitation syndrome is so heavy out here. It's like
Imposter syndrome, yes.
that imposter syndrome, absolutely. It's so heavy. It's like people just want to be everybody else instead of being themselves, like their self is not good enough. And I think
Fact,
it has to do with just like social media itself and what you see on TV, not even realizing them people, they have problems too.
fact. They only showing you what they want you to see. The same thing with social media. We're showing you what we want you to see. You're not seeing, the hard part, the grind and the struggle. You're just seeing the happy moments. Like
Right,
I said, social media is just a collage of all the happy moments and all the good parts of entrepreneurship or business in general or whatever. And you're not seeing the hard part about it, which, like I said, that goes into being transparent more with your audience and stuff. So
facts.
to any new photographer out here starting, like I said, just be yourself. Do you.
Do
Just
you?
do you, okay?
That's all that people want. They want the real you, not the, glitz and glam, even though social media shows that they love a real story. They love the struggle as well. Because the struggle is a part of your story. I put that up today as an affirmation. It's a part of your story. So why not just be you?
Right. Why not share it? Because you never know who else could be going through that. And then they're looking at you as like, oh man, that such and such went through this. I'm going through the same thing. Man, that's going to help me. Like I see their blueprint or I see what they're doing or I see, what they've done to overcome this. In what ways can I recreate those similarities of what they're doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to ask because you talked about investing in yourself.
Mhm.
That's another thing. People, in order to get better in whatever you want to do, you're gonna have to spend some money.
Girl.
You're gonna have to spend some money. And it
Not a little
every
bit, a
time.
lot of money. You have to spend a lot.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
that saying it takes money to make money is a
it
true
so does. It really is. So with that, obviously if you're first starting out, you probably don't have thousands of dollars to invest in certain things. So obviously if you're just starting, get what you can. Don't go overboard and try to purchase things that you can't afford going into debt or anything like that. Buy what you can, and then once you can afford the things that you really want, or you want to put those um, you want to put more money into bigger investments later on. But when you're first starting out, don't go spending thousands and thousands of dollars on stuff you may not know how to use, you probably won't use. Just get what you can, get what makes sense for you in your budget. Don't try to go overboard.
great
It
advice.
don't make it don't make sense. But also don't be too cheap because the cheapest person pays the most later on.
That is
So
so true. That is so true. That is a
that's true with
reality.
anything. The cheapest person pays the most. The cheapest person pays the most.
Listen, been there and done that. And I could have saved so much money and time by not doing that.
Facts. Facts. So yeah, when you're investing in yourself, do what works for you and what makes sense for you at the moment. Don't try to, overdo it if you don't have the means to overdo it.
Great, great advice. Great advice. So, since we're talking about investing in yourself, do you offer any like one-on-ones as far as trainer and coaching or digital products yet to help these new people that are interested or help people that have been in there and they just want to learn something new? Because again, I see your talent. So we're never
Right.
too old to learn. It might be something that somebody's been in the game a little longer and you might have you might have something to offer them they haven't done before. Do you offer anything as far as that's concerned?
So I do have digital ebooks. I have one for marketing, I have one on how to start a business, and then I have one for passive income. And I also have one that I just made. It's called Who Do You Think You Are? So that's four ebooks. I'm sorry, not three. I have four. Um, Those are on my website, www.a1lensproductions.com/A1store. Got to link that in there. But as far as one-on-ones, I have people reach out and ask me that all the time. It's not something that I've acted on, because I feel like I'm still learning myself. Like I don't feel 100% like, I'm not gonna say I'm not 100% confident. I'm very confident in myself, but I'm still learning. I feel like I have more to learn, and I'm learning new things every day. I'm researching things every day, watching different videos every day, trial and error, doing different things every day. So for me, I don't want to say I'm going to offer classes right at this moment, maybe late 2024, maybe middle of 2024. I'm definitely interested in doing one-on-ones or offering some sort of class. But as of right now, I still feel like I'm learning, girl. I'm learning every single day.
No, I appreciate the honesty because you know what? We
Yeah.
have them
I don't want
amateurs
to.
that be like, dang, I got you, and then pay
Right.
$500 or $5,000 for something that you could have learned, you could have did yourself and taught yourself. So thank
Right.
you.
100%, in my honest opinion, I 100% think that trial and error is the best teacher.
Mhm.
I do have mentors and people who give me advice and people who help me out, or, people who send me information like, hey, check this out, or have you tried this, or do you do this? I have people who help me with things like that, of course. But when you're first, like, kind of starting out, I think the best teacher is trial and error. Go and see what works for you. Go and test out what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you. And I don't want to give you, hey, you should try this. And then you're like, oh, that didn't work. The
Right.
best teacher for anything is trial and error. Do it 100 times. You're going to have to do it 100 times before you get it right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let
So
me ask you too, because a lot of people are doing iPhone photography, making videos off iPhone.
I love it.
Yeah, so like which one would you choose? I mean, I know you're the professional, but if you was like in a spot where you just couldn't do it, or you had the camera but you felt more comfortable using your phone, which one would you choose, or which one would you suggest?
For me, you just mean out of my camera on my phone?
Yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, using my phone is easier because you can just take it out and use it really quick. I don't have to set anything. It's not as complicated. So I can see why people are using their phones. I use my phone to film and create things, but if you want something to look 100% professional, HD, 4K, you want it to look as best as it possibly can, I'm gonna use my camera. It all really depends on, like, the scenario and what you're creating it for. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong with using your phone. Actually, there's a lot of people might not know this. There's a lot of people that have rigged their iPhone. You put it on a rig, you put the microphone, you have different lenses for it. There's
Mhm.
people out here shooting weddings with their iPhone. So I can't knock it. People are paying for it. So I'm
Yes,
like,
they
you can't
are.
knock that.
I
There's a
feel
market for it.
Listen, I be seeing it and I'm like, wait a minute, you could put a different lens on your phone? I just
Yeah,
seen that like maybe a month ago. Someone shared it with
yes,
me. I was like, what?
yes. People are shooting whole weddings with their phone. I mean, if you have a decent phone, obviously, you can shoot a whole feature film on your phone. People are shooting movies on their phone. People shooting weddings on their phone. People shooting music videos on their phone. It's a lot of stuff that you can creatively do if you don't have access to $1,000 cameras, $2,000 cameras. Like I said before, use what you can. Don't go broke trying to buy things that you can't afford.
Yeah.
If you have a phone, you got a good phone. Technology is great nowadays. There's so many templates and apps and things that you can use. Just use what you can.
Yes. But for me, like, I try to do like get the newer phones or whatever, right? But
Hmm.
I'm not a photographer, right? So even though my pictures might look straight with this new phone, I would prefer to have, honestly, I would prefer just to have the creative insight
Take care of it.
professional, right?
Yeah.
Because they might see something that I don't see. Like they might say you need to pose this way, and I'm thinking trying to do it myself. It might look strange.
Right.
I feel like just having that professionalism that
Right.
creative eye, you know,
Right.
I would prefer to go that route.
It definitely helps out because, you know, everybody, you can't have your hand in every single pot. You know,
That's right.
you're a writer and, you know, you own a magazine. So you may not be good at doing photos, but, you know, you might need to hire somebody that is. I'm not great at writing. I'm not the greatest at writing, but if I ever needed to write something, you know, I know that I could reach out to a professional like yourself to help me with writing, you know?
Right.
So I think as a business owner in general, whatever you're not good at, you're going to have somebody who's great at it to help you accomplish what it is that you're trying to get to. Everybody needs a team.
That's right.
So even though iPhones are making everybody feel like photographers, which is fine because art is subjective. Art is whatever you make it. But, you know, I do think that as creatives and business owners alike, people still need that professional touch, that professional eye, like you said,
Yeah,
um, to have somebody else look over it and make sure everything looks good.
absolutely. And do you travel? Like if somebody was in a different state, do you travel?
Yes. So actually, I am going to Antigua next year to film a girls' trip. I had somebody book me out of the country. Woo woo.
Yes, that is
How cool is
major.
that, right? That's super cool. So yeah, that'll be my first international trip. But as far as like locally, yeah, I travel, you know, to different parts of Florida. I've traveled to Georgia. You know, I'll travel if they're paying, most definitely.
Awesome, awesome. That's great to hear because some people are like, no, we're just gonna stay in my area.
Oh no, I want to leave. I want to get out the
Like,
city. I want to see the
well,
world, you know.
yeah,
I,
I'm like, well, people want to pay you. Like, I know there's always like that fee, like a travel charge, and people are doing it. So I don't know, but I just wanted to see because again, some people are just limiting themselves. They're like, we're not traveling, or it might be just they just can't afford it, or they're just too scared to do it, whatever. But I feel like if you open those options, it's
Yes, I'm definitely 100% down to travel. You know, I'm in Florida as of now, but if somebody wants to book me in Georgia or New York or California or whatever, I also have people that travel from other places to come down here and work with me. So I'm like, you know, I would love to travel out of state as long as y'all
yeah.
looking, you know. So I'm
Yes,
down.
I love it. I love it. So I know for a lot of people, some people don't celebrate, Christmas and things like that, which I get. But around this time of the day, or time of the year, I feel like a lot of people are busy. What does it look like for you? Are you one of those that's like, I'm booked to the end of the year, or I'm actually slowing down right now?
It's a little bit of both. So I'd say the last month, I've been booked every weekend. And then, like, I'll have a couple of days where I'm off. Like, I'm off this week
Oh,
until Saturday. And then next weekend is busy again. So it's like 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks
okay.
on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off. So it's kind of a fluctuating pattern, but definitely busy around this time of year.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. So I know we're moving into the end of the interview, but I do want to ask, what are your 2024 plans? Like, you don't have to share it all, but what do you see 2024 looking like for Amber?
2024, I want to grow and expand my team. I want to add on more photographers. I want to have a team of editors. I just want to grow and expand my brand beyond what I'm already currently doing. And I just cannot wait to see it grow and flourish. And I'm just really excited about 2024. We got a lot in store, even with you. So we're going to,
Yes,
you know,
I'm just so excited. Like, I'm so excited. I really
I'm
am because
excited.
again, this is just I would say it's like a history making for She Is. So I love it.
Yes.
Like I feel like, every time there's somebody like you, it's just like breaking new ground for myself and my brand. So I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Once again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You're awesome as always.
Oh yeah, you are too. I love talking to you. It's just so easy. So before we
I
go,
love it.
I want you to tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can book you, and all the things in between.
So you can follow me on Instagram at A1 Lens. That's LENZ Productions, A1 Lens Productions. My website, www.a1lensproductions.com. And yeah, YouTube is all the same thing, A1 Lens Productions. So go follow me.
Awesome. So you heard it here first with Amber.
It would.
Make sure that you follow her, and that's A1 with a one, the number one, not
Yeah.
the whole word. So make sure that you
Yes.
follow her, support her, book her, because
X.
she on a move.
Christmas
She on
coming
a
up, y'all.
move. Yeah, she on a move. So make sure that you book her. Amber, I know we're gonna collaborate soon. I appreciate it. You guys, we will see you
Thank you.
next time for She Talk, and you enjoy the rest of your year if I don't talk to you before then. And take care, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good night.
You too, hon.
All right.
Bye bye.